No, I want to save this. There.
This is a nice setup though, man.
Oh, me? Yeah, I can see myself vaguely. Vaguely. I think you pushed the one.
How are you doing, man?
Oh, you can't.
I'm good though,
Do you
bro.
know what? Like, I know you moved clubs this season. I weren't too sure
Yeah.
who you moved to. But Folkestone, yeah?
Yeah.
With Jukebox.
Yeah.
Mad.
You know Jinxie,
Yeah, man. I played with him.
What club was you?
Lewis.
Okay, yeah. When you lot won
Voila.
the.
Well, yeah.
Yeah. I saw that
Voila.
still. What was that? 0708?
0809.
What? Wait. You got promoted from Blue Square from Conley South.
South to Blue. Yeah.
Okay, and he was in that team. He's a player.
But do you know what? That year, no one stayed. So we got promoted and no one stayed.
Where did you go? Eastleigh?
No, I'll save that.
Okay.
Hey, all the info. Yeah, I can't wait, man.
That's what I'm saying because this is relevant to me.
Yeah, let's get into it. All right.
Yeah.
Yeah, still out.
So what? Alright, cool.
All right. Well, I'm definitely in there. All right. Cool. Where we at? So let's start with the ads then. Remember today's show is brought to you by none other than OMRG Motors, the vehicle sourcing specialist. So if you are thinking about upgrading or maybe even downgrading on a motor, you know, those monthly payments are just slightly too much. You got your eye on a holiday, a getaway you want to go to. You want to go to Southeast Asia possibly, or you want to get back to the Caribbean, or maybe you want to roam around Europe. So you want to make a few monthly savings on the whip. Get in touch with OMRG Motors, okay? They are the vehicle sourcing specialists and they can provide you with any type of vehicle you are looking for, okay? So get in touch. They can save you lots each month, get you the best rates. And if you think your credit is terrible, it doesn't matter. Get in touch. They've got a way around it, okay? My good friend at Simcar at OMRG will look after you, save thousands. Do what you do your due diligence, and make sure that you say you heard it from One League, okay? And might even look after you even a little bit more. All right, so all the socials are omrgmotors.co.uk, that's the website, and OMRG Motors on Instagram. And I'm pretty sure there's a TikTok about there, OMRG Motors. Have a look, save money, get a lovely motor. Now let's start the show.
Let's get this going. Here, One League, and I've got this right. Episode 22.
Oh, episode 22. Yeah.
Episode 22.
Okay.
You have the man here, Del Bins.
Boom.
Thank you for coming on, man. Honestly,
thank you for having me. And that's a proper intro. I love that.
Oh yeah, you have to do the sponsors and that.
I didn't want to rate
Thank you very much. Yeah. Do you know the one time he hasn't rated me?
Every time I hear it, I'm like, yes, this guy's got it on point.
Oh, okay, I appreciate it.
I'm almost thinking like, yeah, where's the script like?
He has a script normally.
Okay.
He started to freestyle recently.
I'm going there. I know what I need to say. It's all good.
No, man, good to have you on. Seriously, you're a guest and someone that I've known for a very long time in the game. So it's really good to have you on and interested to hear your story, man.
Thanks for having me, man. I feel like an old veteran out here now. You know what I mean? Times have moved on so much. Yeah. It's crazy when I think of like when we first met. That's like, what, 8 years ago?
Yeah, 8, 9.
Where was that? So, yeah, what club?
Hendon.
Hendon, right?
Yeah, and that was at the tail end of my career.
Okay.
But then that's when you were starting out. But I think almost from session 2, we just clicked. There was something there, we just clicked.
Okay.
You know what I mean? It was very, because of maybe how you play and stuff, position.
Yeah,
very
that's
similar.
What it was.
But yeah. So from then, it's always been.
And it's funny, you say obviously you feel like an old veteran, but I was just thinking, there's an expression, as much as things change, things stay the same. So what do you think has changed? Are you still in and around the game or?
Not in the professional and the semi-professional. So I do a bit of coaching now.
Okay.
So pretty much once I hanged up my boots, at that point I kind of made the conscious decision that I wasn't gonna stay within the semi-pro. Because there's many offers to go into coaching.
Okay.
Then at that point I had 2 young kids and it was just like, do you know what? All this traveling, as you know, I need to just
takes away from family time. Yeah,
so definitely. Now I've just kind of been roped in, and so I'm coaching my son's team.
Yeah.
So even though I've kind of thought like I'll go away from football, I'm actually spending most probably the same time, if not more time. It's like 4 times a week. It's just non-stop.
Yeah.
You know what I mean?
You got any projects in Mbappe's going on as people do, or you're just gonna let them find what they want to do?
I'm not gonna lie. Like the academy where we're at, like the local grassroots academy, they, Yunus Kabul's son was with us. So he's now
Eunice
just
Kabul.
I haven't
Do
heard
you
that
know,
name in.
he's
do you know what's
trying.
funny about him? I actually thought he had a lot of potential, but just some rash decisions. But yeah, I remember
Listen,
him.
the guy's
Yeah.
a unit.
Oh,
The guy's
seriously?
unit. And he's a lovely
Eunice
guy as well.
Kabul.
But yeah, he's doing big things. He's at Luton, but his son's at Chelsea.
Okay.
Okay.
Chelsea. So listen, yeah. He's what? He's only going to be turning 12 now. So maybe
Okay.
6 years from now. But yeah, definitely he'll be one to watch for the future.
Okay,
Yeah.
nice. All right. So, yeah, do you know, we usually obviously do our due diligence to all our guests that come on, and we'll do a bit of background research. Usually we start with a segment called Wikipedia. We ain't believing ya. I couldn't find too much on Wikipedia. However, on Transfer Market, there is a bit, and especially in terms of the clubs that you've played for. So, let's get this.
That's the problem with Wikipedia. Unless you play in the league,
Yeah.
you ain't getting on the
Yeah.
Wikipedia.
Yeah, I know. Oh no, you'd be surprised. There are some people on there. I promise you.
Okay.
I feel like they put themselves on there though. I can't lie.
Yeah.
And they might.
Yeah,
and they might.
yeah, I
Yeah,
feel
yeah.
like they
I mean,
do.
the thing with Wikipedia, anyone can put
Yeah.
it on. Do you know what I'm saying?
Yeah,
That's why
yeah,
a lot
yeah.
of information is incorrect. But yeah, so let's start. Here I'm seeing, and in no particular order, I'll just reel out some of the clubs. Hayes and Yedding, Lewes, Sutton United, Cambridge City, Wealdstone. So these clubs here, first of all, did you play for them?
I did, yes.
And
yes.
how did it get to there? What was the order? What led up to it? And
So it started off like 14. I was at Tottenham. From a young age, they kind of said that I wasn't going to get anything.
okay, where did you get scouted for Tottenham?
So Tottenham, I was playing for a grassroots team in Harrow.
Okay.
And there was 3 of us at the time got scouted for Tottenham. So this must have been 11, 12.
Okay.
So schoolboy, me, my friend Narada, and there was another guy called Stephen Hands. And we was there for like 3 years.
Okay.
And then it got to, but we was in different, there was like a London campus, which was training at Tottenham,
Yeah.
White Hart Lane. And then there was a country campus, which was all the way out in Redbourne, which is like near
Okay.
St Albans, out near us.
Yeah.
So we used to train there every Thursday, and then once a month, then you would go over to White Hart Lane and then train with the other boys.
In the indoor bit.
In the indoor bit.
Yeah, I know about that. Yeah.
And it was sick.
Yeah,
Listen, we
the
loved
indoor
it.
thing was cold.
But then it got to the point, I think it must have been around 14. There was only 2 boys that got picked from our campus that were then going to move over to this campus. So we were all training with them. But we weren't getting no love. We weren't getting no love. It was like we were there, but we were outsiders. You know what I mean?
Okay.
We're training with the boys, and the boys were a little bit funny and whatever else. And pretty much the coach at the time pulled me and my dad aside and just said, yeah, you're here. Well done. But if you get any other opportunities, then
Go.
go.
basically.
Yeah.
Mhm.
My dad weren't having it,
Yeah.
My dad's like working from 7 in the morning till 5 and then traveling all that way to get us down there. So he was just like, yeah, boom, let's go. So my other friend stayed and I left. And then at that point, if I'm honest, I was bouncing around from club to club. So I went to
Okay.
Wickham, wasn't getting no love. And then I actually settled at QPR. QPR, that's where I kind of settled. And then didn't get a YTS there. That was the year they went down from the Premier League.
Oh, what
So-
year was that? He was in charge.
He's-
Is that Warnock?
No, this is way before then. This is almost like Trevor Sinclair days.
Oh,
Trevor
This
Sinclair.
is
Okay,
you think
yeah,
like I'm
yeah,
43.
Yeah,
so you think
yeah,
then
yeah.
that was like when I was 15.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
Trevor
So
Sinclair.
They just gone down.
What a player, by the way.
And obviously every other year you would have like a full squad of YTSs. But
Okay.
they said cutbacks, all we're gonna do is sign. I think it was 7 YTSs.
Okay.
And I was number 11. Wow, that's my number, but I was number 11 on the list.
Yeah,
Okay.
So at that point, it was like, okay, right. So yeah, from all of that being in the pro academies and whatnot to then getting a rejection,
Mm.
then it was like, damn, what am I gonna do?
Yeah.
So, college, it's almost
Yeah,
it was
like-
hard. It was
it's like
relaxed.
a
It was
whole new
hard.
world sort of thing, isn't it?
But in a way, it was the best thing that happened to me because all my eggs weren't in one basket. You see what I mean? So I went
Yeah.
college. I kind of got the love for football again. I was just out with my friends and whatever else. And then
Yeah.
I kind of just then fell through to the non-league system.
Mm.
So one of my old managers, crazily, I was checking one girl in the park, getting to work.
As you do.
And then as I'm walking through the park, I see this team playing. They were training. And he's like, oh yeah, come over. He's like, oh yeah, how are you? Hugs and greets and all of that. He's like, oh yeah, I'm taking over under 18s team at Hendon.
Mm.
He's like, come down. And I'm like, okay, I'm not sure.
How old are you at this point?
This time I must have been 16.
Okay.
16. So the year when I left, when I got released from QPR, I went on trial at Brentford. Then I went to Watford. Didn't get no love.
And what were you hearing from the trials in terms of like what were they saying the
Well, the
same
feedback,
thing? Was it different?
Do you know what it was? Do you know what is difficult when you go on trial? Because one, you go there as a trialist and everyone's looking there thinking you're trying to take their spot.
Yeah.
Two, most of the time the players won't pass to you.
Yeah.
You see what I mean?
For that reason,
And three, you've got to have. There needs to be something about you that you can just turn up anywhere and play your football.
Yeah.
I wasn't that kid.
Okay.
I was quite quiet.
Okay.
You know what I mean?
Okay.
It just didn't really work. You know what I mean?
You make a really good point because
Yeah.
people overlook the. I want to call it social, but that
The
competitive,
psychological
psychological
social,
element
Yes.
where it's not even about football.
Yeah,
It's just about being able to exert yourself and
100%.
kind of like not care what anyone thinks is tough.
This is
It is tough.
Yeah,
tough,
you need to be focused and know you're coming there, you're going to do your thing.
Yeah.
And if someone's not going to pass you the ball, you're going to stick it on them. So then
Yeah.
next time they
They
do
do
pass
pass
you
Yeah.
the
the
ball.
ball, yeah.
Otherwise, the game will just pass you by.
Yeah.
And you might have had a couple of moments, but not enough.
Yeah.
It's
know
a
what I
crazy
mean?
thing though, isn't it? Because it's like, I come, like you're saying, I'm a trialist. I'm basically, let's say I'm coming to take your spot, but I'm still getting onto you for not giving me the ball. Like, but I feel like football has to win. Does that make sense?
Yeah, so
Yeah.
Like the
your
game-
ability has to come through. Yeah.
Like, do the right thing, make the
Yeah,
right
yeah,
decisions.
yeah.
You know what I'm saying? Like, I've seen a lot of players like do that sort of thing and not give other players a ball, but it makes them look bad.
Yeah,
Do you know what I'm saying?
yeah.
But then does it because then if he's the one that's saying like, "No, you're not giving me the ball," and getting mad,
Yeah.
some people will see it as right. He's a bit of an egg. He's got a bit of a chip on the shoulder. Like, he's just
No,
come
it
in
has
and-
to be like that though.
No, but that's how some people see
It's
it.
true.
It's all opinions, bro.
And then it's two ways of looking at it as well.
Yeah.
Like when you get the ball, do you try too much? Or
Yeah.
try enough to make yourself stand out?
Yeah,
Yeah.
Or you keep it simple, passing the
Yeah,
ball,
yeah.
because different people look for different things, isn't it?
Facts.
So I might have 100% pass completion
Yeah.
because every time I've just looked for the ball, look for the easy pass. Maybe not the easy pass, like going backwards, but
Yeah,
the
yeah.
forward pass,
Yeah,
rather
yeah.
than thinking, do you know what? I'm going to be the guy that's going to take on a couple guys and make
break
it
a few
happen.
Lines and that,
You know what I mean? But
Yeah.
at that young age, yeah, it was very, very difficult, very difficult. And unless you kind of had a couple of players on the team that you felt comfortable with and kept you at ease, yeah, trials was never for me at that age. It was only when I got to maybe 3 or 4 years later where then I realized that attitude.
What
No
a
matter when I'm on
trialist.
that pitch,
Yeah.
I'm gonna do my thing.
Yeah, you have to do
Yeah,
your
yeah,
thing.
know what I mean?
100. Trials are like exams, really, isn't it? Like,
Yeah.
They
they're not for everyone, are they?
Yeah,
Let's
yeah,
not-
yeah. I'm a BTEC
It
guy
doesn't
still.
mean you're not a good player, but just that method of, you know what I'm saying, trying to get into somewhere. It doesn't mean you're not
no,
smart.
it's
Some,
smart.
bro, I've done exams where I know my stuff, but somehow, just because it's an exam format,
It's a bit difficult.
it's not
No,
the
facts,
easiest.
facts.
Yeah,
facts.
But I'm the same as you. Though. I'm a BTEC guy.
I'm a BTEC guy,
Coursework.
bro. Coursework.
Yeah,
Give
you
me
know
the
what I mean?
coursework.
Yeah.
Let me work
Yeah.
through
that
that.
project.
Yeah.
Trust me.
I hear it.
Trust
I hear it.
me.
Okay, all right. So yeah. So where you say you settled at QPR?
So yeah,
Obviously,
so
QPR
Hendon.
decided not to swing, and then it came down to
came down to Hendon. So at that point, but then it kind of goes back to maybe almost 10 years before. Like on a Saturday, my dad used to always take me out and go watch some of the local teams.
Okay.
So one of the teams, I don't know if you guys are from East.
North,
This
North.
is this? Northeast?
North. I'm North.
North.
He's South.
I'm
South.
Southeast originally.
Okay.
But around
Yeah,
Okay.
he's come over to the good side.
But it used to be a West. So West, there was a
Westway.
by Scrubs Prison,
Okay.
there's a running track at the back.
Okay.
And there was a black team that used to play there on a Saturday called Simba. And around that way,
Why
like
does that
Shepherd's
sound
Bush,
familiar?
it was a big team.
Okay.
Big team. I used to play Saturday football. It wasn't really like semi-pro, but it was almost just like combined counties, that kind of
Okay,
level.
okay.
So we used to watch them on a Saturday, but then I'd also go and watch Johnson Hippolyte, who used to be Maidenhead's.
I know that.
Yeah,
and you got a son that plays.
Yedding. Yeah.
Yeah.
Jonathan Hippolyte.
But what's his name?
Drax.
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 That's it. Yeah.
So we used to go
yeah.
watch Drax. Drax used to play semi-pro.
Okay.
And him and my dad were good friends from back in the day. So
Okay.
I used to go watch him. These days, Willstone used to play their home games at Watford,
Okay.
Vicarage Road.
Okay. Is
So-
it wrong?
Oh wow. Yeah.
Crazy. Yeah, they sold their ground, they had money, and then they were just spunking their money ridiculously. But yeah, I used to go watch him play anyway. So from young age, not just Vicarage Road, but I used to be used to like this semi-pro environment. So under the floodlights, and it used to kind of give me a little buzz. So the moment I got to under 18s and then I was at Hendon, and then I was playing under the lights on a Wednesday night and a mini stadium, even though grass was heavy or whatever else, it gave me that little buzz. You see what I'm saying? There's a lot of people, and I heard come on here as well, that they were so used to the professional ranks that when it comes to semi-pro ranks, they were like, what the hell is this?
Yeah.
Whereas a complete different.
Okay.
Whereas professional was all good. Yes, that was like the pinnacle. But like semi-pro, I was like, I was like buzzing for it.
And what appealed to you about semi-pro?
It was just the lights playing in a little stadium.
No, I get it though. I
Trust
get
me,
it.
you're not just in a park where
It's nice
you
under
kick
the
the
lights,
ball
bro.
and it goes forever. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
It was just all of that. So, and then from under 18s was playing in those levels. And then from there, it kind of made me think, actually, I've got a second chance here. So I can make my way through the first team and then, semi-pro. Earn a little career, earn a little money, whatever else. But that was kind of my thought process from 16. So even from 16, I was like, I'm not just going to go play for anyone. What is the highest level semi-pro team I can play for where I can move into their first team? So the biggest team at the time around where I was Hayes and Yedding. Hayes and Yedding, well, at the time it was just Hayes. Hayes was still playing in the conference, which is the national conference. So that was the team, like, what I was thinking. And the other one was Stevenage, but Stevenage is a bit far. But anyway, Hendon come around and they were like Ryman's Prem. And he managed to get a team together. It was just like a superstar team of players that I used to play with, players that kind of like me that hadn't quite made it from all of these different pro clubs. And we played and we had a wicked time. You know what I mean? So it was just like, it was football. And don't get me wrong, it was having to travel miles to get there and stuff, free buses, train and whatever else. But I loved it, man. And then it just kind of went on from there.
Okay.
After the first season, I had the reserve team manager come and telling me, I need you to play for the reserves. I'm like, who are you? I don't want to play for reserves. I'm like, no. In my head, I'm thinking, I just want to play under 18s and then try and go straight to first team. But he's like, no. I need you to play. And it was a black guy called Cecil. And he was one of them old school black guys where he just looked at me as like one of them young little youths and kind of talked to you in a certain way.
Almost like
you off,
son
like,
you.
Yeah. So I wasn't really feeling him. But then one day, the first team manager come up to me and said, listen, I need you to play for them. He said, it's a step forward to get into the first team. So then that was it. So then I'd be playing Wednesday nights with my under 18s and then on a Saturday playing the reserve football. And then come in the season, I was training with the first team and then kind of the rest was history.
Nice. So what kind of player were you? What were your like main attributes? Would you say?
I can tell you.
I wasn't the most techie. I'm not going to lie. The technical aspect came later on in my career, but I was just quick and direct.
Okay.
And I had...
Winger?
Okay. Yeah. Old school left winger.
Yeah.
So
I told you, traditional.
4-3-3 up there, left wing. Goals, assists, that was me.
So when you say old school, is there anyone you modeled your game on sort of thing?
It was like back then, and this is going back, like, say Mark Overmars.
Oh, yeah. Baller.
See Mark Overmars just direct.
Yeah,
you see him like he's not hanging around.
He's just running.
You see what I'm saying? He's just at you. And he'll just constantly be at you. So he was one of my idols. Obviously, John Barnes.
Absolutely.
You know what I mean?
I feel like he doesn't get spoken about enough, you know?
Listen.
I think that's because of after football, though. Like,
what happened after?
He just talks rubbish sometimes, bro.
I think times
you
have
think he's killed his legacy?
Yeah, man.
That guy, honestly,
he was a baller though. To this day, I don't know what foot he is.
Yeah, no, absolutely.
Bro, tell me what foot
I think
he is.
left was his strongest.
I think he was left, yeah.
But
he could do.
But
mad
he
things
could
on
go
this,
either way. Yeah.
He could do.
Okay.
Things.
He was serious.
Yeah.
But them days there as well, like I mostly say things that a lot of people didn't realize. But when I first watched John Barnes, I used to support Liverpool.
Come on, man.
For a couple years. I know I changed.
Oh my God.
But then Ian Wright signed for Arsenal.
Hey, they say you can't trust the man that changed
Hey, that's an unwritten rule.
I don't know though. Like a lot of the time, you kind of pick the team you support through the family and people around you.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And it was him. But then, once I kind of saw Arsenal, and I was just
it makes sense.
Rocastle, Ian Wright,
I get
Michael Thomas. Yeah.
Oh, yeah, come on.
Yeah, come on.
Look at this guy, bro.
Come on.
He was on to you when you had Liverpool. And then when you had Arsenal.
Could you switch to Arsenal?
You think Liverpool, they had Barnes and what was his name? Michael Waters. That's all they had. You know what I mean?
We had Mickey Thomas.
I've done said it.
Yeah, after. Yeah,
Mickey Thomas.
I've said that Arsenal the people's team, but well. Okay, that makes a bit of sense. All right, so direct winger, wide player.
Banging shot though.
Banging shot, goals, assists.
So you're scoring goals, yeah?
Scoring goals, yeah. Them early days, them early years, I'd always be like either the top goal scorer or second top goal scorer. So even though the striker's there to bang in the goals, I'm next to him. If he's getting 20, I'm getting 19.
Okay.
And even when I went into semi-pro, those first 2-3 seasons, I was like second top goal scorer. You know, always in double figures. around about the 14, 15. But then you know what happens? Managers kind of change your game. At that time as well, formations changed.
Yeah.
So it went back to 4-4-2.
Okay.
Or them days there, it was like the England Christmas formation where they're coming with
Oh
like wing
yeah,
backs.
Christmas thing. Yeah, I
I'll tell you
remember that.
what,
Yeah.
I go back to the trial days. That killed me because that's when wing backs came out.
Okay.
And if you think for someone that used to stay high up, starting position, get the ball and be direct, to then be told you're going to play wing back
Okay.
and you're having to do this work.
It's demoralizing.
Okay.
It hurts.
And I
you
was
know.
a fit guy.
Yeah.
I was fitter than most, but that killed me.
Yeah, that's one
Yeah.
thing I noticed about you actually. Like quite late in your career, you was very fit, you know.
Yeah.
Nah, I noticed that. That's something.
I think early on, naturally, it was just one of my attributes. I could run, you know, I shouldn't say it here, but like some days I'll be out with my friends, running on a weekend and then and then I'll go play football and I can still do it.
Yeah,
But then quickly I realized I can't do both of those things.
Yeah,
Right?
yeah.
So, you know, it just went down that way. But then from young, I was just like, fitness is my thing. So I'd almost say from after I went full time with Stevenage and I went back into the semi-pro game, I realized from that moment forward, in order for me to have longevity, in order for me to be the best person I can be on the pitch, fitness is a big thing. So
Massive.
even though training 3 days a week, I was in the gym for 4 days a week.
Okay.
So I was just
Yeah.
work,
Constantly on it.
football, and just in the gym. You know what I mean?
So hold on. So was it Hayes and Yedden? Yeah.
Oh, is that Hendon first?
Hendon.
Sorry, after Hendon. So you've
So
gone.
Hendon,
You've
I
gone
was
first.
there.
You've gone first team.
First team, broke through, did well. Should have got signed for XYZ, but where he was on a contract from then, clubs weren't willing to pay stupid money for you. And in those days as well, most pro clubs weren't necessarily looking at semi-pro players.
Okay.
It was only DJ Campbell. DJ Campbell,
He broke through, innit?
he was the one.
I remember.
that
him.
was
He's
the
cold
trend.
though.
Where
And
did,
then-
where
and
did,
then
what club
after
did he
that-
come from?
He went Brentford.
He come from Yedden.
Oh, he came from
Yedden.
Yedden. Yeah.
Yeah.
Where did he
so-
go? Brentford, didn't it?
He went Brentford, yeah.
DJ Campbell.
Yeah, Yedden. And that was with Drax. So they played Newcastle in the round 3 of the FA Cup. Did really well. I think they lost it 1-0 or something. And yeah, he was a star. The star player from that team, but there was a lot of good players in that team. And yeah, he was the one that broke the trend. But yeah, back to Hendon. Big offers that came in, like, you know, there was lots of talk. I was in papers to say, oh, I was going to sign for Southend or I was going to sign for this club. Never happened.
Did you ever hear anything from these clubs though? Or where did these rumors come from?
It was in the papers. Like people are phoning me up and saying, congratulations, you're signing for this team.
Oh, wow.
And I'm like, what's going on?
Bro, you ain't heard nothing.
Yeah. I'm just
that's
doing my
horrible.
thing. Yeah.
That's horrible.
Crazy.
Yeah. And then it's only like, back then as well, the culture was like, you go training, you get in the bar, you have to drink.
Yeah.
After a game, you're drinking. And then I met up with some of these players later on and the manager years later, and he says, oh yeah, you know, you could have signed for so-and-so, but we didn't want to take like 10 grand for you at the time and whatever else. And I'm like,
right, imagine that.
and he drinking with me at the time. I'm thinking,
Yeah.
My head's gone.
All the
My
shit's
head's gone.
coming
I've
out.
had that situation.
yeah, but you wouldn't want to play for that manager. You wouldn't want to play. I'm
Let
thinking,
me be the
You
one.
see what I'm saying?
Yeah.
So yeah. So I think the end of the second or third season, manager left, new manager come in, and I was like, that's my opportunity to go. Left, and then I went Cambridge City,
Okay.
which is mad because I'm from Harrow.
That's a journey, isn't it?
A journey. At the time, I didn't even have a car.
Right.
So I remember coming back from holiday and the manager calling me and he was like, Binzi. I'm like, who's this? He's like, yeah, Binzi, I'm Cambridge City manager. I used to be St Albans manager. Played against you many times. I want you to come play. Come up. So they had a game on a Saturday. I think it was a pre-season friendly. He said, come up. So I remember going to my sister's house, borrowing her car, driving up the M11. Car broke down.
Wow.
Had to change the tyre. By the time I got there, I swear it was like half time.
Wow.
Yeah, I'm thinking, wow. But I tell you, I got there and I looked at the stadium, I looked at the pitch, and it was a carpet.
Okay.
And I could see this team.
Was it Cambridge City? Yeah,
Cambridge City.
Not
Not
United.
United,
United
Cambridge
City.
City.
But still a carpet, yeah.
A carpet.
Okay.
Carpet. Back then, Cambridge City used to be almost like a feeder cup for Cambridge United.
Oh, okay.
So there'd be a lot of players that would go do well and then they'll move on to Cambridge United.
Okay.
Cambridge United at the time, I think they were still
The conference prem.
Conference Prem.
Yeah.
Okay.
But yeah, and Cambridge City were like Ryman's, and then at that point, that's where they created the Conference South and North.
Yeah, I remember that come
Okay,
late because it
that
was
came
Ram and
quite
Prem
late,
straight to
innit?
conference.
Yeah.
This is it.
Yeah.
So Hendon, the last game of the previous season, they lost. So they were staying in the Rymans, and then Cambridge City were going into Conference South. So not only was it a change of club, it was a change.
Yeah, you're moving up.
up.
Yeah.
Okay.
At that time, they were like penciled to become relegation battle. You know, no one gave him a look in hell that season, but the manager put a team together.
It was on his team, innit?
Wait, can I ask you something?
Mm.
At Hendon, you played with a particular person. Do you know that person that I'm talking about?
First time around.
I think first time around.
So first time around, like this is crazy because like one of your old managers who's been on here, Gary McCann.
Yeah, that's how I was
Gary
getting
McCann was in goal. So these times now, Gary McCann was in goal.
Was
when
he
I
a good
used to play.
goalkeeper?
Gary McCann was a baller. Like,
No, I just need to know because
do you know what? If I'm honest, he was a good keeper, but he was always injured. He was always injured. So that first year, he was the main guy. But then where he kept getting injured because of his knee, then I know there was another keeper that came in, and it was to be like when he's not fit, then he'll play. The second year, the old manager he left, and then the new manager come in, and he just bombed all these old players. So at that point, I think Gary
left.
Yeah. But yeah, Gary was a baller. But even then, there was a Bulgarian international that played in the 1994 World Cup called Boncho Gwenchev.
Oh, right.
Yeah, this guy was like, must have been about 36 at the time. Baller.
Boncho Gwenchev.
Striker. Boncho Gwenchev. He played for Luton Town.
Check him out.
But look him up, like baller. But so everyone's telling me about this Boncho guy. So we're coming into training, and I think we did a little drill where it's just like crossing and shooting and whatever else. So I've got it out wide, and I've actually put a good ball in the box. You know what I mean? One I'm kind of proud with. It ain't gone in the stand. My man's just done an overhead kick. Bang!
Right.
Top corner.
Okay.
And he's just like, yeah. I was like, yo, yes. This guy was serious. This guy was serious. But even though Hendon at the time, they had a lot of money. So it was a big non-league club.
Okay.
Like the chairman owned Fender guitars.
Oh, Fender,
so,
yeah.
They had a lot of money.
Okay.
So like from when I got signed for the first team, I was like on a contract, and I was like, decent money for what I was on, yeah. But these other guys were on big money. I didn't really know. Yeah. But it was like they were like the Billerickies or the big
top
team
teams
at the time, yeah. But then that money, unfortunately, the chairman died, and then money died, and then everything else just kind of moved on from there. But yeah, Cambridge City, it was just.
It was the best player you or a player that you liked at Cambridge City.
Another manager that I played with there. Josh Simpson. Robbie Simpson. Robbie Simpson. Yeah. So Robbie Simpson was a striker. Josh Simpson, but he played in the league with him. And there was also another guy called Michael Gash.
Okay.
Gashi. Do you know Dobbo? Craig Dobson?
Yes, I do.
Yeah.
Yes, I do.
Dobbo. So we had all of these like young players, but there was quite a bit of experienced players as well. And we absolutely smashed it. So you had like Weymouth at the time. They were like the big spenders.
Okay.
And you had Gary. Oh my gosh. It will come to me, the manager. Really cocky, but done really well. Dagenham and Redbridge, Hornchurch. Wherever he goes, he has money and he has success. And like we're just the minors. So we gone to their place. I was suspended for the first game. We got a result.
Yeah.
So it's like, well, everyone's like, hold on a minute. First game of the season, how are you getting a result there?
Yeah.
You know, and then later in the season, had him at our place and we beat him again 2-1 and I scored. And I was just like, yeah, that season we finished second in the league.
What? And you was tipped to go down?
Tipped to go down. Finished second in the league.
Is that playoffs?
And playoffs. But them days, it was, what it was, you'd have to win the Conference South playoffs and then the Conference North playoffs would win. And then you would then play each other. And that would be at Stokes ground.
But then
that's so random.
That's to see who goes up or what?
Only one team goes up from both leagues.
Oh,
that's how it was.
Madness, bro.
Crazy.
Yeah, that's crazy.
So semi-finals we won. And then the final of the Conference South we lost.
Who did you play?
We played Eastbourne, which was crazy because there's a guy, striker called Yemi Odebeyi.
I know who you're talking about. Black guy,
short.
Ah, he's cold.
And he's had a good career. He's like played at Stevenage.
He's cold.
He's cold. Yeah.
I rate him.
But this team come from nowhere. Like they must have had,
Hey, he could be our cousin. No, so I'm just thinking like, what?
But where does he live? He's like from Brighton way.
Yeah, he plays for a lot of them
Nice guy,
clubs.
bro.
He
Nice
plays.
guy.
I think last time I played against him, he was at either Weymouth or one of them sort of
Yeah.
teams. Like
Yeah,
he always
yeah.
plays them
Maybe
sort
not.
of
I'll
ways.
check
Yeah.
him out. Okay.
But yeah, you know when there's loads of games cancelled or called off,
Yeah.
they must have had about 8 games to play in 3 weeks.
Oh,
They
no,
were
one of
nowhere
them
near the
ones.
playoffs.
Yeah.
They just went on a run.
Yeah.
That's
And
what
all
that
of
happens. Though.
All of a sudden, you'll just see them and they're in the playoffs. So we're looking at them in playoffs and we're thinking, oh, you got to the final.
Yeah.
Okay. Like, we've beaten you twice this year already. We're not
Oh.
even looking at you like that.
Yeah.
We're almost-
You're looking
we-
at the next game.
I'm not lying. I'm looking at playing at Stokes ground,
Yeah,
Britannia
yeah.
Stadium.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? And then they moved to us like 2-1 in the game. Yeah.
Wow.
My head got spun then as well because I was playing against that older right back. And he racially abused me in that game.
Oh, swear.
And I was like,
How? What do you say?
called me a black.
What, like as the game was
Yeah.
going
Oh,
on?
I hate them.
yeah.
What is
What-
that?
Yeah,
what-
but he knows what he's doing because he knew he
They
would
trying to
trigger
get
me.
into your head, yeah.
And it did
yeah,
get
yeah.
into my head.
Okay.
Didn't get sent off, which was a good thing, but it got into my head. And it just, you know what I mean? But then those things you just know when
Yeah.
you play them again.
But how?
You gotta lift him up.
So,
Yeah,
so,
you
licks.
yeah, you got.
so them times, obviously, like I don't know, a lot of people like to believe like we've come a bit of a way. So, but them times, what's your reaction? Are you saying anything to anyone, or you just getting on with it? You didn't feel like there was a platform for you to even do that. Yeah.
Those days there, that's the norm.
Yeah.
That's the norm.
Yeah.
So you half expect it. But at the same time, when you hear it, it doesn't mean you just accept it. You know,
Yeah,
there's
yeah.
just fire in your belly and you just wanna switch.
I hate that.
So do you feel like a lot of players just, even like at a high level, like Prem level and that, you think the likes of the John Barnes we spoke about and the Rollcastles, they heard it and they just got on with it? Like,
John Barnes, yeah, he like, you seen like he was like, banana will get thrown at him and he'll just kick it away. He's doing kick ups with it.
yeah.
I remember that same team at Cambridge, we played I think it was an FA Trophy. We played away to Barrow. Honestly, this ground's the furthest north I've ever played. And at the time there was me, Craig Dobson. I think we might have only been the 2 black guys on the pitch, but both wingers. Quick, short, sharp, boom. And you could hear from the crowd, oof, 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 oof. Like everyone could hear it.
That's poor. It's
And
poor.
I'm
It's
looking at
actually poor.
Dobbo and he's looking at me and I'm just like, don't, just ignore it. Just do your thing on the pitch.
Yeah.
He's going mad. But
Yeah.
I'm just like, you get sent off, it's not going to help us and whatever else. I can't even remember if we won the game or lost the game, but
Yeah.
in my head, that just stuck and I just thought, rah,
Mm.
like it's just the norm. No one's
No
no one's
bats an eyelid, innit?
flinching, the
Yeah.
referee's not
Yeah,
saying
no one.
nothing.
That,
You
if it
can't
doesn't, if
even-
it's not them, they don't really. It doesn't
Yeah.
Yeah,
matter to them.
yeah.
innit?
Those days is, yeah. And if I'm honest, and this sounds really bad, when you played against those teams up north or in the sticks, you expected it.
Yeah, you almost
You
expected
expected it. And if there's like one token black player and you almost look at them and think like, how
Like,
are you
how are you
accepting
dealing
it?
with this?
How
Yeah.
are you
How are you
accepting
accepting
it?
Oh,
How are you
that's
playing with these
that's
guys?
But then
a
what do they
sticky
do,
one.
though?
Yeah.
What do they do?
Well, yeah, because it's for them. It's like, you're all right, you're one of us. But it's like,
Yeah.
Oh,
It's
hey.
like, no, facts
a
though. What do
sticky
you,
one,
if
yeah.
you're that person, what do you actually do though? So say I'm playing against you, I'm up north and I'm hearing this. What do I do?
yeah. And if you do something, oh, he's got a chip on his shoulder.
Yeah.
So
Yeah,
it's
But it's
always
not
going
winning,
to
bad egg
be,
and all that, innit?
yeah.
It's
The
a tough
narrative's
one,
always going to
yeah.
be changed back on you.
Yeah, that's
Hard.
poor, man.
Yeah.
But luckily, as years have gone on, I don't know. I don't know if it's got better, but I think I've always played in teams, fortunately, where there's more black players. So I just think people they know they can't get away with it.
Yeah,
anymore.
yeah.
But
And
I feel like it has become less acceptable at the same time though.
Yeah.
Do you know what I'm saying? Whereas it was happening pretty much out there and for everyone to see,
Yeah.
I feel like that it can't be.
But on the
somewhat
pitch
overt
is a
now.
cruel place. Like
Yeah.
whatever you can use
Mm.
or do
So
to
up
get
to your
under,
to get
opponent,
into
yeah,
to get
yeah.
under someone else's
Yeah,
skin, you'll
definitely.
do it.
Yeah, definitely.
Yeah.
So people will still use it,
Yeah.
but you know,
But isn't it different when you know someone's doing it for the purpose to try and affect
is
your
it.
game?
But then
This
sometimes
is
you
it.
don't know that though.
this is it.
I feel like sometimes you
I
don't.
feel
I feel
like
like sometimes
you
they're just
always
doing
know
it
that.
because they can just get away with it though.
But this is where it comes with experience. Because I think almost by the time I was like, say 26, beyond that, nothing could rattle me.
Okay.
Like, nothing. Like I've
It's like,
experienced
yeah, I've been
everything.
there.
Nothing could rattle me.
Yeah.
So you could try take me out in a minute, try to elbow me. You could say whatever you want to me.
Yeah.
You could mention my mom. It don't matter. It don't matter. Like nothing around me.
Yeah.
Because all I'm gonna do is just absorb that. I was like Black Panther. I'm absorbing that and I'm just giving that back to you. You know what I mean?
Yeah.
But
So here's the question then. So let's say that right back that you said obviously said those racist things to you. At the end of the game when everyone's shaking hands, are you shaking his hand?
I honestly, like, I never experienced it before. And I think it took me a while to overcome that. And I remember, like, anytime I play eSport, I'm looking for him. I'm thinking,
Okay.
what's going on? And the worst thing was as well, because they had black players on the team. I'm just thinking, how are you saying that? And he was an elder though, and I just thought. And the worst thing was, when I remember I questioned him at the end of the game, he tried to deny it. He tried to say, I didn't say that. Like, what are you talking about? I didn't say that.
Yeah.
And I was just thinking, like, you're not even gonna.
You can't own it.
Yeah.
You can't own it. You can't.
Yeah. But then,
crazy.
yeah, that's like, football then was a dark place.
Would you say that's the hardest thing you've experienced in football generally? Is that some of the hardest times, or have there been even more difficult times?
I think it's up there. I think in terms of like an eye opener, definitely that away game at Barrow. That was that, you know, when you're hearing the chants, you're just like, wow, how
How are you doing?
How's this happening?
yeah, in a big stadium like that, and you can clearly, it's not just one person, it's a group of people. And you're just thinking, wow, and everyone else is just accepting it.
Yeah.
But, on a personal note, on the pitch, I think it was hard, but it toughened me up. I know you shouldn't always have to experience those things, but yeah, it made me wiser. It made me a lot stronger.
I hear it.
You know what I mean? At that point, no one could ever say anything to me that would ever rattle me.
Yeah, after you've been through that.
Yeah.
And what about off the pitch? Were there any hard times off the pitch? Like, for example, did you always have a club from when you started playing non-league football? Or?
I've been blessed that from the moment I was at Hendon, I always signed on contract.
Okay.
So, and I don't know who made me wise to it, but someone always kind of said to me, like, once you sign on contract, manager can't mess with your money.
Yeah.
And he ain't gonna send you out. You know, he can't get rid of you after 2 weeks.
So is it something that you asked for when you went into a club?
Yeah. So every club I would go to, I'm always looking for that stability. So I'm always saying, okay, yeah, you know, good deal. Okay, yeah, 1 year, 2 year, whatever else. And then it's boom. So then from that moment, all I can do is just worry about my football. I ain't worrying about if I get injured or what's going to happen or anything like that. You see what I mean? Because at times, like, them early days, I had a couple of bad injuries that potentially could have just made me disappear forever. You know what I mean? Because it took a while for me to get back to where I was. But where I'm on contract, you know, you're going to get the rehab. They can't get rid of you. So whether it takes 6 weeks or 2 months, you know, you've got that time to get back and then you're going to get back in the team. You know what I mean? Whereas a lot of players, and that's one thing I always say, I think I said it to you as well, that always sign for a contract, always sign on a contract, but always remember you're only as good as your last still. So if a club 2 league divisions below or a league below is offering you stupid money, if it goes pear-shaped there, people are not going to necessarily see that club. They're just going to see the level that you're playing at. Yeah. 100%. So then you're not going to then get that money back at that level.
Yeah.
You see what I mean? So it's very rare. It's
kind
very
of taking
rare.
a couple steps back.
You know, unless you're getting towards the latter part of your career, nah, don't drop down.
Never. For me, I got a question. So obviously you was at Cambridge. Is that when you left Cambridge? Is that when you've gone Hayes?
No, from Cambridge. That was when I went Stevenage.
So that's when you've gone full time.
Full time. Yeah.
Now, for me, this is a question I like to ask people. Yeah, what was that transition like? Because obviously you're going from part time to full time, and it's like, for me, when it happened to me, sort of when I got to that level that I wanted to get to, the intensity changed.
Yeah.
Like, and it was like, wow, I'm actually tired from training. Like, I'm actually really, really. Yeah. So what was that like for you?
No one really prepared me for it because I'm that guy that's kind of fit anyway. I'm one of the fittest in the team. You know, pre-season, even though I don't like running, I'm at the front and all of those things. So I've gone from part-time to full-time and it's the same thing. So pre-season, I've gone in, I'm running, I'm at the front. Like, we're doing double sessions. I'm doing well. Everyone's praising me. But then all of a sudden, the body started to say, yo,
that's what it is.
This is a change.
That's what it is.
And then all of a sudden, it's like, and then how they were training how they wanted me to train. Like, I was never really, I like training, but I was never really a good trainer. So intensity in training would never be how I'd play on a Saturday or Tuesday.
Okay.
I don't see how it can be, but in my head, and I know everyone's different, but because if I'm giving 110% on a Saturday or on a Tuesday, you can't expect me to do the same on a Thursday and then have that same intensity on a Saturday. Just how I'm built. So then when I went there, it was like, no, you got to play, you got to train how you play. And I struggled with that.
Did that affect like
Totally.
selection? And
Yeah, totally.
Okay.
Because, I've gone from being in squads of maybe 16 or even say 18 players to go into a squad of like 24 players. So even though you may not do well in training, you're on the bench.
Yeah.
Now you're in a squad where
You could be left out.
yeah, if you don't do well on a Thursday or Friday, you're getting left out. You're not even in the squad.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? You're in the
Facts.
stands.
Because
It was crazy.
I remember talking to you about it for me when I made the steps up, yeah. And I remember speaking to you and I was like, "Bruv, how does my body get used to this? Like, what do I do? How do I do it?" And I remember you was like, "Bruv, you just gotta sleep." And you're like, you gotta like make sure your supplements are on point.
Yeah.
Then you showed me about skins.
Strong,
Do you remember about skins as well?
recovery,
Yeah. So you showed me about this. So for those that don't know about skins, they're basically tights, compression tights that you sort of.
Some people are very against wearing them, man.
Oh, bro, I'm not gonna lie. They
No.
saved me.
Oh,
Yeah,
They
I used to
saved
go
me.
raving on a Saturday
Yeah, I
night,
used to
and I'll have them on underneath, bro.
Oh,
And I'll
serious?
be hot, but I just knew I needed them on.
Bro,
Otherwise, if
save
I
me.
didn't have them on, I wouldn't be in the dance floor anyway. I'll be sitting, on the table and stuff because you're just that stiff. But
So what do
honestly,
it actually do for you in terms of like almost like the science behind it? What?
see the lactic acid that will build in your muscles, it stops that.
Okay.
It stops that. So you wear if you play the game tonight and then you put the skins on and you wear them to the morning, then it stops your muscles from building up that lactic acid. And then obviously the next day, as long as you go out for a jog, you feel nice.
Okay.
Yeah.
Nice.
I
Yeah.
religiously lived in man because of you.
I look like I think from Stevenage and beyond, like after training, we'd always be doing ice baths, and then we lived in these skins.
Yeah,
That was
skins-
it.
Nah,
And they were expensive as well. So it was like, bro, like
No.
you didn't want to pay for them, but then
Yeah.
you just knew that if you got them,
You had to get them. Man.
Yeah.
I know
Okay.
people that still wear them now. I still wear
yeah.
mine.
Oh, serious?
I still wear mine after games.
Even when it's like warm, relatively warm.
Yeah, well, I do it. I wouldn't do it all night, but I'll do it for like 3-4 hours and I'll take it off
Okay.
initially. Like, yeah,
But
so-
see, as you get to the later part of your career, you need them.
Yeah.
If you got a game Saturday, and then some teams will play on a Monday.
yeah,
I remember when I signed for Woolston, I'm like, why did I sign here? They
Wait,
played
Saturday, Monday?
Yes,
Saturday, Monday.
that happened to me at
Wow.
Chelmsford as well.
Okay.
Yeah,
And I'm like, nah. So one less day to recover. You need that.
Yeah,
Otherwise, you're walking in on a Monday and you're still like, right, I can't even move.
Yeah.
I need a full leg massage before I can even think of playing.
All right. So let me ask you, where would you say you enjoyed your football the most? Which club?
Cambridge City I just had freedom there. It was like a good pitch, nice set of boys, and we were just all young and it was just fearless. So Cambridge City, that was the start. But Lewis, when I went to Lewis, so after Stevenage, I didn't get another deal there. And then I had a couple of opportunities to go Grays or other clubs at the conference. But how they were being run, I just thought it was a risk. I just wanted to go play, enjoy my football. So the manager was on me from all summer to go Lewis. Went Lewis, and we had a sick team. Jukebox, your manager and stuff. And everyone was there, and it was just like, oh my gosh. And it was just total football. No matter who we played, like we played against teams high level, low level, whatever else, and we just popped everyone. We won the league that year. So that was, in terms of like ability and players, them ones there as a winger. Certain man, like if you see them on the opposite side of the pitch, you know the digs on. But only certain men have got that techers to do that. But that was the first team where you had players in every position that could do that.
Okay.
And it just makes your life easy, isn't it?
Yeah,
Because like
100%.
straight away, defenders on the back foot, bang, you're in.
Who stood out in that team?
Yeah, I was just about to ask the same thing.
Yeah,
so.
yeah.
Well, there was Jukebox, who was on the right. He
Wait.
was sick.
What? Wait, what?
Hmm.
He's
Yeah.
playing right wing.
Yeah, bruv, I was left wing. He was right wing.
Was he? What was he? What sort of winger was he?
Honestly, skillful.
Really?
Like someone asked me a few years ago, like name my non-league 11. and it was a toss up between him and Craig Dobson on the right side.
Wow.
Yeah, but Jukebox, honestly, yeah, he was good, and he had skills as well, bro. And he was strong.
No, he joins in training now and he's
Strong.
decent. I
Oh,
give him that.
quick.
Yeah,
Like,
he joins
honestly.
in training now.
I think some people even call him like the white Pele back then. Like,
Yeah, no, he's
that
got
good.
tech. He has got tech. I give him that.
Why they call him Jukebox?
His name's Jury, innit? But they call him
Andy,
Jukes.
Andy
Jukes.
Jury. Yeah,
Okay.
he was a baller. But then you had a few most probably older players that most probably weren't. People didn't really appreciate them, didn't necessarily know them, but they were good ballers as well. There was like Gary Holloway in midfield. There's another guy called Simon Wormel who played most of his career at Crawley, but baller again. Tom David. There were so many.
How many years
But
did you
Leon
stay at
Legg. Leon Legg was one of the youngsters in defence who then went on to become pro as well. So he had a good career. Went to Brentford. He was playing at Port Vale and stuff like that as well. So only one season there.
Okay.
And then got promoted. Whole team left. Manager left. And at that point, we're like, everyone wants us.
Yeah.
So my phone's ringing every day. I'm like, yo, Havant that year played Liverpool in the FA Cup.
I think I saw that. What did they lose? They lost a mad score though. Was
Yeah,
it a
but
mad
my
score?
friend Richard Paquette scored the goal. He scored the first goal, header, bullet header.
I think I remember that. Yeah.
Yeah, I remember
Yeah.
it. I remember
At
it.
Anfield. Crazy.
Wow.
But then on the back of that, they had a load of money. So at that point, they're like, oh, okay, we want to get promoted. We're going to sign half of your team. So striker went there, midfielder went there, defender
And
went
this is
there.
Havant, yeah?
This is Havant.
Okay.
Havant in Waterlooville.
Yeah.
And crazy offers. Crazy offers. But
What
then,
were we talking crazy? Hey, no, I just need to know.
like I'm talking, in those days, it was like £800
Wow.
plus bonuses. So you're getting a signing on fee. But
Wow.
this is for like, say, a
Those
winger.
as well.
So I'm talking a striker or centre midfielder. We're talking £1,000.
Wow. And
Yeah.
what league?
Big
What
money.
league have it?
Conference South.
Wow.
Conference South, big money.
Huh?
But do you know what? I didn't sign for them. Do you know why I didn't sign for them?
Where?
Because they signed the right back and they offered him £50 more on the deal that I was going to get.
Oh no.
And I thought that was a disrespect.
Well,
Oh,
did you know
no.
for sure that they offered him that, or did he tell you?
He told me, but when I
don't
questioned it
believe
with
it?
the club, they didn't deny it.
Okay.
Okay.
I don't
'Cause you know
even
some
remember-
man lie.
Yeah, you're right. You're right. But it was a lot of money, but it was a long way as well. And I was still working. And I was just like, and I just wasn't totally convinced on the project and all of the players there. It just looked like a load of mismatched players. And then at the time, Drax was made it a manager and always wanted to play for him. And he was like, oh, come down. And I was just like, what do I do? Big money or decent money and local and man them. And it's like, ooh. And in the end, I thought, you know what? Sign for Drax, man them. Crazy, don't get me wrong.
Yeah.
Like, went there, we got a tracksuit. Bro, the thing was like MC Hammer.
Oh,
It was
flared out, yeah.
awful. Worst kit ever.
But you see,
the change room was sick.
Do you know what? Unfortunately, we are coming to a close pretty soon, so I need to get things moving just because I know we're running out of time. So,
no worries.
some of the things I want to know. Did you ever have a club that had a song for you?
Yes.
Do you remember any of the songs?
That is the worst one was Cambridge City. They used to
Yeah.
call me Bin Man. Bin Man.
I thought they would have said something like Top
Yeah.
Bins or
Top
something.
Bins. Was Top Bins even about themselves?
Well,
Nah.
maybe.
Yeah, Bin Man is crazy. Okay.
Chertsey Town, where I won the FA Bars in 2019, they had a nice one. He plays on the left, he plays on the right. Dale Bins is gonna... I can't even remember it.
Gonna excite.
Yeah,
innit?
gonna
That sounds
excite,
cool,
yeah. Or give your defenders a fright.
Okay.
Yeah.
Sick. Okay, nice. All right, let's get into our one-touch finish, which is our quick fire questions, yeah? So I'm just gonna read off some questions very quickly. You just give me I'm taking your first answer.
Yep.
Yeah? All right, so let's see. Best team you played against?
Wow. I'll say talent-wise, there was a team called Fisher Athletic
Okay.
when
Yeah.
they were ballers.
They,
Even though
they
we
had
won,
they had a bit of money one time. I
yeah,
remember.
even though we won the league that year,
Okay.
talent-wise, they were unbelievable. So I'll say Fisher.
Okay, South London. But best stadium you played in?
Wembley Stadium.
Wembley.
Yeah.
Which
Chelsea,
one was that? The playoff?
Twice. So, Stevenage, we got to the FA Trophy final. So we were the
Okay.
first team to play at the new Wembley. Didn't actually play in that game. I was in the stands. But then Chertsey Town FA Vars final 2019.
Yeah.
Okay, nice. Let's see. What boots did you wear?
I was always a night man.
Oh,
Always
really?
a night man. But I got broad feet, so I couldn't always wear the mercurial, you know what I mean?
Yeah,
Back then I used to wear the R9s, but they didn't last long on my feet.
Yeah.
But then total 90s. Yeah.
Okay, sick. Let's see. Loudest fans you've played against.
Ooh. Loudest. Do you know what? I'll say when I played against them, like Hazen Yedin, those fans were just always singing.
Okay.
Always singing. So it was a privilege when I did play for them, because when you got them on your back, just constantly calling out your name, it lifts you, definitely.
Shout out Hazen Yedin's fans. Let's see. Hardest fullback you came up against.
Simon Downer.
Oh, he knew it already, man.
Yeah. This guy
I
gave
think
me
you tweeted
nightmares.
something about that, no?
This guy gave me nightmares.
Yeah.
Like, he was at Grace, and at the time I was at Cambridge City, played against him, couldn't get past him. This guy was big, but he was quick.
Okay.
So you think, I'm quick.
Yeah.
I could always get past people, but when you're quick and you're big, how do you get past him?
Yeah.
So I couldn't do it.
Probably a 1-2.
So it was like, okay, played against him then, no. Action denied. Tried it again when I was at Lewis, and he was there, couldn't get past him. It took like another couple years when I went to Woking, and then he signed for Sutton. And then first game of the season, I was like, I don't care. Get on. We moved to them 5-1.
Okay.
Yes. And at that point, I was like, yeah. Finally, been able to get the bet. This guy. Like, he, quality player. He could play centre half.
Simon Downer, yeah.
Yeah, centre half or right back. Oh, so good.
Shout out Simon Downer. Your favourite ever teammate?
I didn't really play with you that long. That's the thing.
Hey, you don't have to say it.
No,
Yeah.
Don't rub his ego, man.
Like, I've had quite a few, but like, I'll shout out Craig Dobson, because he just always give me jokes. Dan McMahon.
Darren Man, yeah?
Yeah,
Okay.
Dan McMahon.
Why Darren, man?
Dan McMahon is just funny, man. He's just
Okay.
always funny. Like, he's just always on a wind up. He's always joking about, you know what I
Sick
mean?
left foot,
And he plays with a smile on his face.
Yeah.
So you could come from work and you're just vexed on a Tuesday, and it takes you a while to get into that football mode.
Yeah.
And he's there and you're just getting you laughing straight away.
I hear it.
You know what I mean? So,
Okay.
he's blessed.
Okay. Worst pitch you played on?
Ugh. I could mostly say Hendon, you know.
Oh, yeah.
When I started out, Hendon was awful. It was awful. There's one part of the pitch where if you lie down, you couldn't see that person from the dugout. It was that bad. So yeah, Hendon was really bad. And back in the day as well, Maidenhead was awful as well. Like when it got boggy there.
Is this a club you play for?
Yeah.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, it was like, really bad.
Maidenhead. All right. Favorite goal you scored?
Oof. There's one I scored for Stevenage. We actually lost the game, but it was against St Albans, and I licked a volley from like almost the left touch line, and it went top corner.
Volley or half volley? I've realized some people call half volley.
Yeah.
volleys. Like it's
I would
bouncing.
say a half volley.
Okay.
I'll say a
I
half.
feel like half volleys are cold, though.
Yeah.
Half volleys are cold depending on how you catch them.
Yeah.
But I think volleys are a harder technique.
But when you're left footed, it looks cold.
Yeah, it always looks good.
But in terms of importance, there was a big derby like Cambridge City versus Histon. It was like big Cambridge derby, and we played them at Boxing Day. So you'd always play your derbies against Boxing Day and New Year's Day. And it was 1-1, and they had a corner like the final couple minutes of the game. All came out, got the ball on the edge of the box, and ran the length of the pitch.
Yeah.
Took it around the keeper and scored.
I swear.
Yeah.
I even got
Nice.
energy, bro.
You say importance. That's also sounds like a quality goal as well, man.
It's in quality goal, but because it's against your rivals,
That as well, yeah.
that's just like,
That's
you know what I mean?
Fair enough. All right. Where are we? Yeah, I think that's pretty much it. I kind of know the answer to this, but you cold wintry day, gloves on or off?
Gloves on.
I can tell. You know how I knew? Because of the skins.
Yeah.
I feel like a man that wears skins
Yeah.
definitely wear gloves.
Yeah,
Yeah, 100%.
Straight.
I love it. Okay. Yeah, that's pretty much it. I think, let me see, what have I forgotten?
We just didn't do the gem.
Yeah, hey, we need a gem. We need you to
So
drop a gem.
The last gem.
I'm not even doing the last. Oh, you remember it?
I remember it.
Sorry.
Hey, the last gem was Go Where You're Loved.
Okay, it was indeed.
Yeah.
Yeah, go where you loved. So yeah, we do a segment where obviously the last guest leaves a gem. That last gem was Go Where You're Loved. So what's your reaction to that in any way, shape or form? And then you can drop a gem for the listeners in the next
I love
guest.
that. I love Go Where You Love. What I would also say, like I'm just keeping it to football as well. Always play for a manager that appreciate your style.
Okay. I appreciate your
That goes
style.
hand in hand as well, you know.
Yeah, Go Where You Loved. Yeah, definitely. Yeah.
Because there's a lot of time, like a manager be like, yeah, I want you. But if you see his teams and you think, long ball, or, he's got their wingers doing mad running,
Yeah.
then you're not going to enjoy your football there.
Okay.
So even though he loves you and he's going to throw you everything, that somewhere along the line, when things don't go right, he's going to revert back to that style.
Yeah.
That style will you're not going to be happy.
Yeah, you're not.
Yeah, definitely. I like that.
Yeah. But to be fair, like there's a few clubs I haven't shouted out, like Farnborough, big club. Team we had there was unreal, like superstars, like crazy. How we didn't do better than what we did. We finished second. We got beat in the playoff final that year, mainly because of things behind the scene. Chairman wasn't willing to pay everyone. The 2 weeks after the season ends, he's not willing to pay everyone. So half the boys are just thinking, well, hold on, if you're not paying me, then I'm not going to put the effort in.
Yeah.
You know what I mean? Woking, like we won the Conference South league with that team, and even though it was a young team, sick team, like again, but like I've been kind of blessed. Like I've had a lot of success. I'll almost put it out there. I'll say, listen, if you can get someone on here that's had more success in the non-league game than me.
So are we talking about like winning things?
Yeah, he's won a lot.
Really?
He has won a lot.
Winning
How many
things.
National League Souths have you won?
So 2 National League Souths, obviously Trophy, FA Vars, won the Combined Counties, which is a league, which counts.
Hey, silverware.
But
Wow, yeah.
and then got to round 2 of the FA Cup twice, played Blackpool, played MK Dons, round 1 X amount of times, but then won the playoff final with Hazen Yedin. And then even though I don't like to big up when you don't win, but I finished second in the league like 3 other times.
Yeah. So you've always been there or there.
Playoff final.
He's been blessed.
So what makes a winning team for you then? What do you think the ingredients for
So
a
winning
team are?
mentality, it's got to be a good coach.
And when you say good, what do you mean?
A good coach that can just bring in the right players. Like it's not always about the best players, because the best players may not work hard for you.
Yeah.
If it's a Tuesday night away at Hendon on a bad pitch, they're not going to be on that. They're not going to be up for that. So you need to have the right balance. You can carry a few players, but you need to have the right balance, the right mentality. So I always look at managers and think, can you bring that? And the successful ones are the ones that they can.
Yeah.
And sometimes it's I look at some managers think, like you've just had a winning team and you've gone to another club and you haven't bought all of those same players, but they're able to like evolve as well. You see what I mean? And I think that when I look at like big managers like Gary Hill, he's won things at multiple clubs. Steve King, again, these coaches can evolve. It's not just like one set of boys. They're bringing and they're able to introduce.
They got an eye for talent. They got an eye for what they want. Yeah.
Okay, and last but not least, one player the streets will never forget. So who's super skillful that you realise that just left an impression on you?
Do you know what? He's a South man, so I must say. But D McDonald, I don't know if you know.
I do
I've heard
know
that name,
D
you know.
McDonald.
Like this guy, how like he was at Arsenal and
I do remember
he was at
D
Farnborough.
McDonald.
Listen,
Yeah.
baller. And like in the 5-a-side game, listen, everybody knows D McDonald like is a G.
Dean
G,
McDonald, yeah.
So I played with him at Farnborough, and the year before, like they won the league. And listen, scouts were coming down from Scotland, Celtic, all of these big clubs. Chairman kind of did one on him, but in terms of talent and ability, even to this day, like serious.
The streets will never forget Dean McDonald. Well, yeah, that's it. I think we need to wrap that up. So
That's a wrap. So one league.
One league.
Thanks for having me, guys.
Hey, cheers, man.
Okay, it was been a pleasure. Well done.
That went quick,
Yeah.
That goes quick.
Yeah.